cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence.
What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I am your host, Comedian96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Minded Men. I want everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe and click the like button. Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, and what's up, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Think Thursday. Today's topic, guys, I'm going to talk about police brutality. If you know, the topic of the show is Daniel Shaver, and normally it's Black Lives Matter, and originally the show was about a Ohio man named Tyson that it happened to. That he just got actually killed. April 18th of last month.
What happened to him?
He was killed. Police brutality. He was in the store. They was trying to take him, come arrest him. And if you can look at the videos on YouTube. They have his knee in his back, and he's saying the same thing as George Floyd. I can't breathe.
My question,
yes, sir.
in that video, because I saw it, but I wasn't really paying attention. Mm-hmm. They approached him for a reason, right?
Yeah, well, of course. But he was in a BMW, hit a pole.
Okay.
All right, and when he hit the pole,
he fled the scene.
Yeah, he fled the scene. Somebody.
So they had a reason to approach him.
Yeah, they had a reason to approach, but not a reason to kill him.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So it's fine.
But was he resisting?
If you see the video, no, there's no way he could have resisted. He kept telling them, "I couldn't breathe." One guy had a knee.
Before they got him down on the ground.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't there.
But you saw the video. I'm asking.
I didn't see the before. I just seen the video that's out there. Only shows the aftermath of him being held down by the police, him being carted off in the the gurney, or they're rolling him out.
You know, if a police just come and just grab just a small portion of your sleeve, hold a small portion of your sleeve, and you pull away. Just shrug your shoulders.
Resist.
You resist arrest.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people didn't resist the arrest.
Yeah.
And then you got to think too. If he touching you before telling you you're under arrest,
he's in violation.
That's
right.
And that happens a lot of times.
It happens a lot of times.
Which is why people do react in the manner that they do. And I'm just wondering if this guy reacted in a certain manner which caused him to get thrown to the ground before it got to escalated to what it did.
You know what? I didn't get into his story.
Was he drunk?
I didn't get into his story.
Okay.
Originally,
you did say it was
originally it was going to be about him.
I'm sorry.
But I found one worse.
Gotcha.
And the reason why I use this one is because we're always Black Lives Matter. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this on air. It doesn't matter what race you are. Police brutality is just wrong. And I'm going to repeat that. Police brutality is wrong no matter what race you are. But this particular one is actually a white-on-white crime. And it's in Nashville, Tennessee. Daniel Shaver. So let's get into it. Let me tell y'all. The reason why I say this one is probably one of the worst. And I'm not trying to compare any of the police brutality stories. None of them. I don't want to compare. But this one was just pitiful. This one's pitiful in many different ways. So let me get into it. All right. So Daniel Shaver grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. Right? I'm not going to get into the details of what he does, but the night of the incident, he was intoxicated, him and a girlfriend, and a couple other people in the house. So the other people went into their rooms, okay? So it was just him and his girlfriend. Police were called out because of a disturbance, all right? They were intoxicated. Now, The video's also out there, but they weren't intoxicated. You know how most people get drunk and they just alleviated, just all out of control. No, they're nice tipsy, just talking loud. Well, nice tipsy though, but very responsive, very cooperative. All of them, everybody
in their own
home, in his own home. Okay,
Right.
They were very, very cooperative. Right, no talking back to the police. It was yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and everything.
Yeah,
right?
respectable.
Respectable. So when the police came out, 6 of them showed up. Right? You have 6 police. One was 26-year-old Philip Brailford. He was 26. Okay. Now,
Right.
Philip had a AK-47 to a domestic to a disturbance call. You gonna bring a AK? Who brings an AK to a disturbance? Yeah, and then 6 cops.
Yeah. Well, it was too many attitudes off the muscle with 6 cops.
Yeah, 6 cops.
Too many different attitudes.
So what? This wasn't no dope. This is a regular house. They're very nice.
Who called the police?
I guess it was one of the neighbors. Somebody called because it was a disturbance. So if it was a disturbance, that means maybe a neighbor called.
Man, you know what this remind me of?
What's that?
That story. I think this is a more personal issue that we hadn't heard about yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that story with the brothers that killed the one guy. I think this was in Dallas. It could because he was dating other officers. We had a show about this.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Was
I'm just thinking that it's
like
something
this.
more personal than for the guy to come, like you say, to have an AK.
Yeah.
It's pretty extreme.
It's
and then
extreme.
6 officers.
Okay, so it gets interesting, right? And remember, we also had a show about they should. Man, I think we talked about this. Your police brutality show,
Yeah.
matter of fact, and I said
Police and the police.
They need to start. Yeah, police and the police. They need to start doing a mental check on these. Remember, I don't know if you remember that, so we're gonna put a pin in it. Remember, mental check. So now they're telling the guy. Philip asks Daniel, you need to. First he tells him, put your hands in the air. So if you go look at the video, he does exactly what he said. So he puts his hands in the air. He said, okay, now put your hands on top of the head. Right? So all the excerpts from the videos they call it Simon Says. Before he killed him, he made him play Simon Says basically. Go look at the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. So he said, put his hand on his head, put his hand on his head. Then he said, put your hand on your shoulder, put your hand on your shoulder. Okay, now put your hand on top of your head. He put his hands on top of his head. Okay. He said, now get on your knees, get on your knees. He got on your knees. Now when you're on the top of your knees, get your hands, interlock your fingers on the top of your head. Now, on your knees. All right, now, this is what I want you. I want you to lay down and put your hands out flat in front of you. So now he's laying on his stomach. Imagine, a cop, he done made you do all this. You started from the upright position, put your hands in the air, you did that. Now put your hands on the top of your head, you did that. That ain't enough, so now you say get on your knees, you did that. Get on your knees and interlock your fingers, you did that. That's not enough. Now lay flat on the floor with your hands out. He did that.
Right.
You know what is next? Now imagine this. A cop with 6 guns around you. Forget the AK-47. The other 6 guns. He says, while you're laying on your stomach with your hands out, he said, now crawl to me. How you gonna crawl? As soon as that man go to put his hands back to crawl, he unloaded on him. 5 shots.
So the officer with the AK is the one
The
that did the
officer
shooting.
with the AK did the shooting.
Now, was this police cam video?
Yes, it's on video. The whole video is on YouTube. You can go watch
see,
it.
the fact that he was there with that type of gun shows that he had some issues that he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying that it was targeted for this particular person, but his mentality was to do something to somebody you walking around with that.
Exactly.
You know, and you got 6 officers with you. Why do you need a gun such?
Why
like,
the other?
you know.
Now, mind you, he's 26, so I'm pretty sure he's the youngest one on the force. 26, right? Or even mid. I know there's a captain or somebody above him, but then I don't know. He's 26 with a AK.
My thing is, how can he even justify that shooting? He wasn't in fear. of his life.
Right. That's exactly.
You finna be mad. So, he was.
Couldn't have been in fear of his life.
Yeah, you finna be really mad. All right. So now, later they released him. This happened 2022. Okay, they released him from the police force. Administrative leave. You know how they do it. Administrative leave with pay. Right.
Okay.
All right, let him go. Did an investigation on him. Found out that he was not fit for duty due to mental. Remember I was talking about mental? Due to his mental state. All right. I ain't made you mad yet. I'm gonna get you even madder. Okay? Now, they let him go. Hooray, right? You would think hooray. He goes to court, finds him not guilty. That you're mad. I know you're mad. Now, how could you not be guilty with 6 people around you and this man laid out on the floor? You find him not guilty. All right, I'm mad at that right off the rip. But this next part is really, really, really set it aside. After they find the man not guilty, they rehired him.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Not for the reasons you think. They let him go. That same week. But you know why they rehired him? 26 years old. So that he can get his medical pension, $4,200 a month for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Now, how long was he a police officer?
He was only 26 years old.
But I'm asking, how long had he been on the force?
2 years, I think it said. I think it's 2 to 3. 3 years. 3 years.
If
Sorry.
they saying that he shouldn't have been a police officer in the very beginning, why the fuck you want to make him eligible for this money?
That's my question. This was Nashville, Tennessee again.
Them white folks need a Ben Crump.
They need something.
They out there doing it. They way out there.
But see, this is crazy. This is a white on white.
That's
so
why.
What can we say, really?
Nothing.
It's the police force now.
Yeah,
At this point, it's the police.
Yeah.
It's definitely wrong, though.
Nothing we can say.
You gonna kill a man on the floor with his hands out in front, right? And then you gonna tell him to crawl. What? How you gonna
And
crawl?
kill him. And then beat the case. And then get hired back so you can get
your
money.
pension for the rest of your life.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
If that ain't you can't even call it racist. You can't. What can? They need to investigate the police force. What you think, Freddie G?
Man, well, I wouldn't say investigate the full police force, but of course, the guy, they have to do their investigation there, right?
I still say some
But
personal shit.
that sounds more like, I mean, you can't say racism.
No,
but
you
that
can't.
sounds like power trip.
And it's exactly what it
Definitely
was.
power trip.
That sounds like power trip and abuse of authority.
Yeah.
Now,
You ain't even read the article and you hitting it on them. I didn't want to say that part. I was gonna let you. You already saying it, but keep going.
yeah, that sounds like abuse of authority. Now I don't know if there is some backstory to why he entered with that caliber of weapon.
That's what I'm saying.
But
With 6 police officers, he should have been on the
yeah.
death row.
now
There's 6 of y'all.
usually it seems like it's habit, right? With all police around the country, it
Right.
seems like this is a habit. When they show up and they have their guns drawn, when one shoot, it triggers the others to shoot. In this case, I didn't hear you say
No one else
that
shot.
others shot.
Just him.
So that's kind of puzzling to me.
Question. In the video, do it show their actions after the shooting? Like, do
No,
the
it
other
cuts off
officers?
after that.
I was wondering
There
if the
you
other
go.
officers jumped in.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
and
pretty
said,
sure.
"Dude, what the fuck you doing?"
He
type
got
of-
hit with an AK that close. He got shredded, man. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't show.
I think he was wrong either way, man, and I understand, they doing it how they want to do it out there, but it's just not fair. It's not fair at all, to anybody.
I'm sure they still fighting legally for some shit to happen.
Well, hopefully there will be some sort of civil situation.
It's
with
gotta
the
be,
family.
yeah.
The family has to still.
They
be,
have they're still fighting. They got videos out there. They still fighting. It's still fighting.
It's gonna
Ain't
be a
nothing-
long fight.
It's gonna be a long fight because the state. You know how the state is. They'll pay you. They'll pay your next generations before they pay you. So, man. But I just thought that was interesting because it happens to blacks a lot.
Right.
But when you hear stories like this is just low down. Like I said, it doesn't matter what race. This is just this dirty.
Right.
Well, I mean, you saying it doesn't matter to race, but I wonder, and you have to wonder, and I think we even talked about this before we started recording. But what if the officer was black? You know, you think he would have came out on top like this white officer as far as getting his pension?
I think he would have got some time. I'm gonna be honest. You know what? I don't know.
Very exact same scenario.
I take that back. I
The
take
color
that
of the
back.
officer.
What didn't something just happen in Nashville and it was a black lady? This in Tennessee.
Was that the Uber driver?
No.
lady?
No. The captain in Tennessee. And she's a black captain. Something happened. She's a black captain and some black police officers they killed somebody. Did some black people? Was that Tennessee? Right?
She reprimanded them.
Right. She reprimanded them. But did they go to jail?
That wasn't Memphis, huh?
Was it wasn't
What
Memphis?
Tyreek Nichols
Yeah, I think
was
that was.
killed. Where they beat the black dude?
Will they beat the black dude?
It was a group of
But
black,
I thought
black
the
guys.
captain, she was a lady and she was a black captain. I thought,
Yeah,
or
I thought
lieutenant or
that
something
I thought
like
that was a black lady, the captain of
Right.
the 4 or 5 black officers who killed
right.
Tyrese Nichols, who was a black
Another
motorist,
black- yeah.
a black motorist.
So did they get in trouble? Those black?
Well, they got charged, but they're still.
Yeah, I think it's still under
They're
investigation.
still under
they're-
investigation.
No,
So-
they're charged.
They're
They're
charged.
actually charged. It's just that they haven't,
Well,
that day in court.
that
haven't
answers your question
fully-
right there. If they charge the black on black, I'm pretty sure they're gonna charge black on white. Yeah, if a black officer hit a white, they did that to a white. Yeah, it would be worse. Because if they got charges and it's black on black, think about it. More than likely.
A lot of times, too, man. Here's what you got to factor in too.
Mm-hmm.
When these police stop somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and in this case, kill somebody,
Mm-hmm.
they go and file They go and file their report.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, now every officer on the scene has to file their report. They write their report. And what they put in their report usually is solid, like gold. They take it as gold, right?
Right.
And so you would have to wonder what his report looked like because he's the shooter.
Right.
And all of the other officers who were there, their report has to kind of be similar to his report. And so a lot of times when these officers are investigated, the first thing that they do is go to the report. The investigator go to the police officer report, then they go and they question these officers and I guess internal affairs or whatever, go and question these officers. But apparently, it seems like to me that if they hired him again, whatever he put in their police report, and those other officers were there, their police report kind of corroborated what his police report said. And keep in mind, you just got a dead guy, but he got other witnesses
Right.
that collaborate his story.
You know what? I was just thinking about something. The military, you having disabilities or whatever, they do pay you for that. I'm pretty sure they have ratings also as cops because they pretty much go to a boot camp just like us, just like we do, right? So I'm pretty sure they get paid for PTSD. So you know what he could do? Because he seemed like he would be this type of person. He can lie and say, man, I got PTSD from shooting him. I'm having nightmares at night. And that's probably how he got his medical. See, I didn't think of it that way.
I just don't understand again if
You know what? Now that you said that, part of the investigation it's my understanding that they go through a psych eval also.
And that's probably how he got his money. It's not that they wanted to pay. And like I said, I was mad originally when I read this story and looked at it. But I thought about it. I said, man, this man probably used the system and said, man, I'm having PTSD. I ain't never shot nobody ever in my life. They're going to automatically give him money. Just by saying that alone. So, anyway, like I do on every show, I want to pack up my trash before I get off the 52 Scott. So first, K-Money, can you hand me that bag? Because I got a couple people throwing this trash. All right, let's go ahead and throw Philip Brailford in here. He's in here. And you know who else I want to throw in there? Have y'all watched the Mike Tyson video with Jake Paul and the interviewer?
No. What happened?
So the interviewer asked Jake Paul. He was going off on Jake Paul, but the interviewer accidentally kind of talked down on Tyson, but not intentionally. He asked Jake Paul. He was aggressive towards Jake Paul. He really was. But he should have watched his words. He says, so Jake, when are you going to stop fighting all these gimmick fights? You ain't doing nothing. You ain't. Jake was smart. Jake said, oh, so you calling Mike Tyson a gimmick?
Wow.
You call Mike Tyson a gimmick? I give him props for that, but your ass going in the trash because you going to get your ass whooped. And that interviewer, you just in there by default. So y'all, check us out next week. Peace. This concludes our show for today, and if you haven't done so already, follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast. Also, IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Black Friday.